The back and forth between Chael Sonnen and Islam Makhachev continues. Earlier this week, Chael said Islam vacating his lightweight title and moving up to welterweight was a sign of cowardice, not courage. Islam fired back last night on X saying chasing hype and money is not the same as chasing greatness in sport, but average athlete who built his way to the top with cheap trash talk won't understand that. So please seat and watch how others doing it, Uncle Chael. Speaking to ESPN MMA, Chael had this to say in response.
There are many paths to greatness, son. Travel yours as I traveled mine. And I will be there to help you as you stumble, as I always have. Signed, Uncle Chael. No. Signed, your guardian angel. No. Signed, your elder brother. You know what? Put them all. Uncle Chael, your guardian angel, your elder brother. And in the future, if I want your opinion, I'll beat it out of you. No. Leave that part out. Let me extend an olive branch.
A few days ago, we posted footage of the altercation on ALF Reality. In the footage, Jake Shields was getting kicked in the head. Nate Diaz jumped in and started punching an individual while Jon Jones tried to break it up. Jon recently gave some insight as to what exactly happened and what started the brawl. Speaking of Red Corner MMA, Jon said, "We had one of our young fighters, a guy named Zalik. He was playing with Nate. He wanted to play fight with Nate. Nate kind of came in a little bit on edge. I think he had some previous beef with some Russian fighters, so he was a little bit on edge when he got here. Play fighting with Nate was not the best idea. It became serious right away, and we had to replace Nate. I've been around the Bushido spirit for a long time, that martial arts spirit, where everybody has a certain degree of, kind of certain rules you don't cross, like a martial arts spirit and everything. I don't think there's a lot of that here. Some guys are like warriors, and some guys are really just kind of street fighters. There's insults, there's weapons. This show, there's nothing like it. There's really nothing like it." Henry Cejudo made an appearance on the Jackson podcast yesterday, and him and Rampage Jackson discussed eye pokes in MMA. Henry just recently lost to Song Yadong by technical decision. The fight was stopped after an accidental eye poke, and Henry reported that he couldn't see out of his left eye. Rampage reflects on fighting Jon Jones back in 2011, where he was eye-poked numerous times. He says he knew that Jon was going to eye-poke him and actually prepared for it in training camp.
Anybody ever poke your eye during a fight?
What? Yeah, Jon Jones.
Do you?
No, I do remember that. No, but what happened? Were you able to recover once you?
Yeah, I kept going because
But that's what I thought. So a lot of people, Henry's smiling, Henry's doing this. I'm like, hold on, dude. I just need time, dude. I'm in this to make money, bro. The last thing I want to do is give up some of my pay because I got a boo.
Yeah. Your eye poke was worse. Your eye poke was worse than mine.
Why was yours not bad?
Mine wasn't as bad as his, but I came into the fight with an eye poke injury because we were training for that shit, bro.
From who? Who poked you during training?
Oh, I had this.
That's dangerous, dude. I never really thought about the eyes, but once it happens to you, then you're like, oh fuck,
bro.
Fuck you,
bro. I fought a guy who's known for eye poking. So Jon Jones. So I brought in this tall.
So you let them poke you?
In training, I was trying to get away from it, and he got me one time. Yeah, I trained for it, bro. I was fighting for the belt.
Like seriously, like you really did,
bro. I'm telling you, I trained my ass off for that fight for Jon Jones. I trained my ass off. That's how confident I was that I was going to win.
Jack Della Maddalena reveals what he believes are the key differences between Islam Makhachev and Belal Muhammad. On the West Sports Show, JDM said, "I think Islam is a better version of Belal. I think his striking on the feet is easier than Belal, because he'll stay in one stance. He's more traditional style, but he's pound for pound #1. So it's a tough fight, but I guess we'll just watch his fights again, make a solid game plan, and then just start working at it from pretty much now. I'm going to start working on ways to beat him, different ways to get back to my feet, stuffing the takedown. I'm pretty confident I could get this one done." Tim Welch firmly believes that Merab Dvalishvili is the best bantamweight of all time. He also reveals how he's preparing Sean O'Malley for the rematch at UFC 316. Speaking to ESPN, Tim said, I don't really know how you debate that Merab's not the best now of all time. Just look at his record. Has there ever been a bantamweight who's beat that many champions in a row? I don't think there has. So it's pretty easy to say that Merab is the best bantamweight ever right now. We're preparing for the worst. We're preparing to be stuck on bottom in half guard. We're preparing to be stuck on bottom in the guard. We're preparing to be against the fence. And Merab just grinding on you. We're preparing for the worst. And last time, we didn't get to prepare for the worst. Will it make a difference this fight? I think it will. But we'll find out, I guess. Ray Longo is surprised by the odds for the upcoming middleweight title fight between rDricus du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev. Currently, Khamzat is a 2-1 favorite, and Longo thought it would be more even.
So what do you think the betting line is for that fight, Ray? Chimaev and rDricus du Plessis. Who do you think's the betting favorite? And I only ask you that because you said I'm not betting against rDricus anymore. So he's the favorite now, finally?
I'm going to say rDricus is the favorite in that fight.
No, Chimaev, 2-1.
2-1?
Khamzat Chimaev minus 198. rDricus du Plessis is plus 164.
Wow. All right.
No line as yet on Nasruddin Imavov. But
wow.
I thought it was interesting that Chimaev was the 2-1 favorite. So
yeah, I would have thought that would be more like a pick'em, a slight favorite. Wow, they really.
Mateusz Gamrot explains why he dislikes Paddy Pimblett and wants to fight him. Gamrot, currently ranked 7th in the lightweight division, thinks Paddy's climb to the number 8 spot was way too easy, and now he wants to test him. Gamrot is currently coming off a split decision loss to Dan Hooker and is set to face Ludovic Klein later this month. Speaking to Ariel Helwani, Gamrot said, I don't like this guy. He talks too much. He's arrogant from England. He has talked some things about me many times. I'd love to meet him in the octagon because his way to this position he has right now is so easy. If he gets a good opponent against him, I don't think he wins this fight. I'd love fight with him. He's from Europe, I am from Europe. If the UFC makes this fight, I think it's going to be the biggest fight in the lightweight division for Europe. My opinion, he's great stylistic matchup for me, and I'll beat him for sure. He's a grappler, I am a grappler. I love scrambling with somebody on the ground because my previous opponent, Dan Hooker, was only a striker. The ground was fire for everybody, and everybody stands up. I'd love to roll with somebody on the ground. Hasbulla attempts to choke out Jon Jones. Michael Bisping and Paul Felder react to Sean Strickland recently calling out Belal Muhammad. Sean challenged Belal to move up to middleweight to back up his trash talk. However, Bisping and Felder weren't impressed with the call-out. In fact, they suggested it may be a sign that Strickland is approaching the end of his career.
Yeah, I saw this.
Yeah, I don't want to talk shit, but all right. There's two sides. Belal has talked a lot of shit, said he would go up to 185 and this and that and all the rest of it, loses his belt. So I guess I don't blame Sean, but realistically, Sean just losing a title fight, is that the fight you want next? Is that the guy you're going to call out? You know, especially after you're beating up these streamers in the gym. One could start painting a narrative here if you wanted to. I'm not saying I'm doing that, but it's like, really?
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, look, I mean, I got nothing against Sean, but if I'm Belal, you're both coming off losses for the belt. I mean, Belal's still in the mix at welterweight. He wants to go and try to get a fight that's going to get him back into that title picture, coming off one loss, a good fight with Jack. And for Sean, I know Izzy's out there trying to get a fight with him. I know other people are calling for fights with him that are very active and established middleweight. So as fun as I think that would be, I would think that would mean that it's the end of your career if those types of fights are happening. And I think that's what we're kind of alluding to there. It's like, if it is, then sure, that's the fight to call for. But if you still think you got some in the tank, come on now.
Movsar Evloev appears to have accepted the fact that he's not fighting for the title next. Alexander Volkanovski has stated numerous times that he wanted to defend his featherweight belt against Evloev and take his undefeated record. However, it looks like the UFC is moving in a different direction. On X, Evloev wrote at Alexander Volkanovski, "Thank you, champ, for trying to fight me. I will fight in July and you fight in September. Hopefully we both win and we can meet in December." He followed up with, "If you are a UFC fighter and believe you are the best in the world, then you have to fight every fight they throw at you. No risk, no reward. See you guys in July. It's on. #Abu Dhabi." According to some reports, Evloev has accepted a 5-round fight against Aaron Pico, who will be making his UFC debut, and Volk may be defending the title in a rematch with Yair Rodriguez. Jean Silva is eyeing a fight with Diego Lopes next. On his YouTube channel, he said, "I want to make it clear that this fight did not come to me. Of course, I think it's a great fight for my game. I think it's perfect. I study this guy's game a lot, and I think it's a great fight for me to compete for the belt later. But I'll be honest, what do I think? I think Evloev is going to fight Aaron Pico, who just entered the UFC. I don't know if the UFC wants Evloev as champion, so maybe this is an opportunity to get rid of him. Losing to Pico, it's going to be Yair Rodriguez versus Volkanovski, and then it's just me and Diego left. That's what I think maybe the UFC will do. I'm not sure, but in my view, I think that's what makes sense now. It may happen. A good fight. A fight that I think would be incredible. If he is well ahead of me in the rankings, for Diego to accept fighting me, he will probably say if I beat John, I will fight for the belt. That's what he will ask the UFC. The UFC will say yes, but he won't beat me. As long as he is with me, he won't win. Forget it." After the reports started to circulate that Alexander Volkanovski may be defending his featherweight title in a rematch with Yair Rodriguez, fans were quick to express their frustration with Dana White. Aljamain Sterling says this is fascinating if Movsar isn't getting the next title shot. This user writes, "Dana White and the matchmakers need to get jumped. Nobody wanted this. Even Volk asked for Evloev. They're getting lazy with the rematches. Horrible matchmaking. And the UFC wonders why their product is going downhill. And this is disgusting. There has to be something the fans can do to stop this." Jon Jones responded to Tom Aspinall today. Verdict MMA posted a quote from Tom during his recent appearance on Demetrius Johnson's YouTube channel. It says, "I've been inactive for nearly a year, and I'm just being told to wait. I don't care about fighting Jon Jones. I just want to be the undisputed champion." John left a comment saying, "Shut your mouth and do as you're told." And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from Brotto1. It says, "Bro, let's be real for a moment. Islam is not scared of Ilya. If anyone deserves to move up and try to get double champ status, it's Islam." The second one's from the Brown Coyote. It says, "Damn, Islam really unked Chael like that." And the final one says, "The only reason Jones hasn't been stripped yet is because Dana is holding out hope that he can book the fight. John is stringing him along just enough. Let's not be stupid about this." Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.